Okay, people, this is my setup for the fig cuttings. As you can see right here, it's a metal rack that I purchased. It is 72 inches tall, 20 inches deep, and 48 inches wide. I spaced them out at 23 inches, a little bit under 23 inches between each of these heights so that the figs can have some space to be able to grow under. It provides 3 racks. I should be able to get, 120 fig starts in this little rack that I built. I purchased these lights from Amazon. They're just little cheapies, but they are daisy chained, zip tied and daisy chained to each other. Comes down here, connects to that one comes over, connects to this one underneath here. And then that will be plugged in. All right, now I have installed these VivoSun 48 by 20 inch heating mats. These are actually really nice, I think so. And I have 3 of them. So one on each rack. They're sitting on top of the cardboard so that I don't get any dents or issues with the weight that's going to be placed on these mats. Each of these mats have a plug and they run at 100 watts. So 1, 2, 300 watts, and I placed them all into this 3-in-1 plug. This I got at Lowe's or Home Depot for a clearance sale for $2 because it's supposed to be an outdoor plug. And I plugged that into this VivoSun temperature gauge. So all 3 mats are going into this one. This temperature gauge take up to 1,000 watts. And I only have 300 watts on this rack. So that's how you can use all 3 heating mats into one temperature gauge with this fancy little probe. Look at this fancy little probe with a suction cup. It's awesome. So you just take this probe and you stick it in the soil, which I will show you here in a little bit. And I will also show you how to program this thing to be able to get the correct temperature for the fig cuttings. In terms of wiring, these lights are all daisy chained. These are coming out the back here, and at the bottom we have this plug that is going to go into constant power because this is for the heat mats, and we have this plug which is going to go into a timer, so everything is nice and neat. And here it is with the cover. This I also purchased at Amazon. It's pretty nice. The zippers are okay. They're not like ultra heavy duty or anything, but they work well. It has little pockets off to the side here to be able to put some stuff in. It doesn't allow for any ventilation on the side, but that's something that could be remedied a little bit later. Totally enclosed, and the nice thing about this, and I will put it in the description, it has a reflective inside so that the light can bounce around better. There are a couple of tests that some other people have done with reflective surfaces and the light, and here the light will come down and it will bounce off of this and provide more light rays for the figs to be able to absorb in the leaves. But it secures here with some Velcro, zipper on the outside, secured at the top for this, and also the back. Works out pretty good. Here's the setup all finished out. Just as a side note, over here I have another pad that is on a fabric tarp between the heat pad and the concrete so that it doesn't dissipate all of its heat into the concrete. And these guys are under this awesome light. Check that out. It is the Phytomax 2 1000, a black dog LED. I think it's used for growing marijuana, but I got it for a steal of a deal. It's 1,000 watts, and this is where I put my citrus trees during the winter when it's too cold to be outside. And thought I'd throw these figs in there so they're getting some nice UV lights. Here we are with the setup. The light is set on a timer for I think 8 or 9 hours right now. I will increase that in about a month. And the heating pads are not on a timer. They're separated. Here's the temperature gauge. The probe is inserted down towards the bottom of the soil there. Since the heating pads are all attached to each other, they should be running the same temperature, which I will get my thermal temperature gauge and see if that is true here in a little bit. In terms of setting up, this is pretty easy. There are some relatively complex temperature gauges. You can see there for heating, it is showing that it is currently heating, that the power is on, and that we're seeing the temperature. This is the current temperature it is showing. All right, the cog button is your settings. You just press it once and it tells you the temperature that it's set at. I want to increase that temperature to 78 degrees. So you press and hold the cog button down for about 3 seconds. It'll start flashing. Once it's flashing, you can press the up button to increase the temperature. Let's go to 79, might as well. And then you can let it go or press and hold the cog button and it will go back to reset. So if I press it again, there it is at 79 degrees. So that will heat all of these mats to about 79 degrees, assuming that the ambient temperature is not 15 degrees below that. So it is about 60 degrees in here, 63 degrees. And with this gauge going up to 79, it probably won't get to that temperature, but one can only hope. The other nice thing is I have the switches that are right here for the lights. So this top section is not being used. I can just turn off that light switch and I don't need to use it. Whereas the lights down here will be used. Look at the green growth. Yeah, buddy. All right, I hope this setup really helped out. Maybe you could do the same type of thing, but this will give me a good 45 per shelf. So that's 90, 135. So if I did my math correct, 135 figs that I can start here, which puts me in a good spot for each year. And then I also have this other mat over here that gives me another 45 to be able to start. My current success rate last year when I did this was about 60%. With this new setup and how I'm watering these things, I'm hoping for a higher percentage rate. So they are placed in the bucket for a reason, because every 2.5 weeks, I'll pick them up and see how much they weigh. And if they weigh relatively light versus when I first set them up, I do take weights on them. So they're about 1,000 grams with the current soil that I have set in there. The soil is relatively rocky, has volcanic rock in it, perlite, peat moss, and I've not had any gnat problems so far. But anyways, back to the watering. So every 2 weeks, I determine if they're light or not. Sometimes I'll pick these tree pots up and fill on the bottom part. If the bottom part doesn't feel very wet, then I will water this tray to about 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch inside that tray, and I'll just leave it there and let it soak it in. Usually takes a couple of days to soak in. We're in a relatively arid environment here. We don't have much humidity, so it doesn't take long for it to evaporate, especially with the heat on the heat mats. It'll also evaporate, but that makes watering really easy for all of the figs, and I don't really have to move them. Another option to try is to take them out of the pot and dip them in water for about 30 minutes and then put them back into the container. But to me, that's a lot of moving. I don't know if I want to disturb the roots on these, so I have not. I tried that a couple weeks ago. No, this last week, and they seem to be doing okay, but I don't think I want to do that approach anymore. But here we have some growth. Look at some of these guys. They're looking really good. That's a little over a month. It's not a good sign if they look like that one in the middle where the leaves are starting to curl a little bit. Probably means the small leaves. Probably means the roots are not quite there yet. But all right, I hope you enjoyed the video on making this grow stand. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Yes, it does cost a pretty penny to be able to do this, but with the amount of money that I'm saving by doing all of these starts, it'll be good. I'm going to start all of these fig trees and then up pot them and hopefully sell them, because I enjoy the process of doing this. So why not do it and get paid for it? Okay, have a great day.